Hi, I'm Joe, a product expert here at UpKeep. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through how to set up your UpKeep account. This overview will focus on the 5 key areas of account setup, which include adding your locations and sublocations, adding your parent and child assets, reviewing and setting up the work order request process, building your one-time and recurring work orders, and lastly, inviting your team members to your UpKeep account. We'll go over each section and how you'll go about setting up your account, whether you're manually entering in your information or using our bulk import function. Before we jump in, let's walk through how your UpKeep account is structured. Locations are the foundation of your UpKeep account. This is where you'll assign your work orders, assets, and parts, making it easier for your team to find their jobs and pull reporting based on their location's activities. UpKeep offers 2 levels of location hierarchy. The first level is your primary location. Your primary location can include an entire plant, building, or job site. Next is your sublocations. These are areas within your primary location, which could include floors, rooms, and zones. As a best practice, we recommend creating a consistent nomenclature for your locations to streamline reporting and team communication. The nomenclature on the left includes key details such as the city the building is located in, and for the sublocation, it includes the city the building is located in and the specific floor of that building. Next, we'll take a look at setting up your locations. When setting up your locations, you can manually enter in your primary and sublocations or use UpKeep's bulk import function. To manually enter in your locations, you'll start by adding your primary location first. Start by hitting plus locations at the top right. Enter in the location details like the name and the address, and hit save. Next, to add our sublocations, you'll simply add and click the arrow to the left of the primary location and select Add Sublocation. Quickly enter in the name and hit Save. To bulk import, you'll start by clicking the word Import at the top right. Once you download the sample template and add in your location data, save it as a CSV and upload it into UpKeep. This will automatically import your location data. What qualifies as an asset will be unique to your industry, but typically this is a piece of equipment that your team is focused on minimizing asset downtime, increasing safety, improving efficiency, and ensuring compliance. UpKeep allows you to easily track your inventory of maintainable and replaceable assets. UpKeep offers 2 levels of asset hierarchy. This includes parent assets and child assets. Child assets are components of the main asset, and without the parent unit, the child unit will not be able to function properly. As a best practice, we recommend creating a consistent nomenclature for your assets to streamline reporting and team communication. In the example on the left, the asset nomenclature includes key details such as asset name, usage type, and model number. This will make it easy for your team to quickly understand what assets you're referring to. Next, we'll take a look at setting up your assets. When setting up your assets, you can manually enter in your parent and child assets or use the bulk import function. To manually enter in your assets, you'll start by adding your parent asset. Click the plus asset button on the top left. Start entering in your asset details and assign your asset to a location. To add a child asset, repeat the same steps, but this time you'll click Select Parent Asset and assign it to the proper asset. To bulk import, you'll start by clicking the Import button on the top right. Next, download the sample template and add in your asset data. Once filled out, save it as a CSV and upload into your UpKeep account. This will automatically populate your asset data. Work orders can be created in 3 ways. The first way is from an approved work order request that was submitted through either your UpKeep request portal, email, or directly in the UpKeep application. The second way is a one-time work order created from the UpKeep web application or mobile application. One-time work orders can be created by admins or technical users. The third way is by a recurring work order, meaning that we've created a work order and it has a set schedule to repeat. This is how you'll build your preventative maintenance schedule. An example of a preventative maintenance work order could be a piece of equipment that needs to have a filter change every month or a piece of equipment that requires a monthly audit. As I mentioned, work orders can be created by submitting a work order request. Here's a quick overview of how work order request is submitted through your public work order request portal. You'll start by capturing your request portal unique URL located under the Request Portal tab. Enter the URL into your browser and begin filling out the work order request form. Once submitted, this request will be sent to your account admin for approval. To submit a work order request through the UpKeep web application or mobile application, you'll log in as an UpKeep user. You'll start by clicking the Request tab and selecting Plus Work Order Requests. Begin filling out the work order request form, and once submitted, this will be sent to your account admin for approval. To update your request portal, click on the desired request form that you'd like to edit. If you would like to edit your public work order request portal, you'll click on Request Portal tab and scroll to the bottom and hit Edit Request Form. Here's where you'll make the needed changes and hit Save. To edit the work order request form that is accessed directly into the mobile and web application, select the Request tab. Once selected, hit the Edit Request Form on the top right-hand corner. Here's where you'll make the needed changes and hit Save. To create a one-time and recurring work order, you'll start by clicking the Work Order tab. This tab is where you'll create, manage, and process work orders. Start by clicking Plus Work Order. You'll enter in all the important details of your work order and then assign a due date. In the scenario that this is a recurring work order, you'll select Reoccurring Schedule. Select your frequency of how often this work order needs to be completed. In this example, I've selected my due date to be the 31st of the month, and my frequency is set to monthly. The next work order that is generated will be due the 31st of the following month and will repeat each month after. By default, recurring work orders will populate once you click into them and will be due the same date regardless of when it was completed. You have the option of selecting scheduled based on completion date. This means that the work order will reoccur based on the last date the work order was completed. Example, if I have a work order scheduled to be completed the 31st of each month and I complete it on the 25th, the next generated work order will be the 25th of the following month. Once you've determined whether the work order is one-time or recurring, finish filling out the remaining fields, ensuring to assign the location and the main worker. As a best practice, we recommend completing the work order fully to ensure clear communication and better data for reporting. When setting up your work orders, you can manually enter in each work order or use our bulk import function. To bulk import, you'll start by clicking Import. Next, download the sample template and add in your work order data. Once filled out, save it as a CSV and upload it into your UpKeep account. This will automatically populate your work order data. UpKeep has three main user groups. The first group is the account admins. The admins have full account access. This includes the ability to add work orders, locations, asset, and part data. They also have the ability to manage and delegate work orders to other users, including approving work order and purchase order requests. There can be multiple account admins in one account depending on your team's structure and responsibilities. The second user group is our technician users. These users have limited access and the ability to add and process work orders, add location and asset and part data. They do not have the ability to edit information they have not created. There are two levels of technician users, a regular technician and our limited technician. The only difference between these user types is that the limited technicians only have access to their work orders that they are assigned. The regular technician can see the entire team's work orders but can only take action on work orders that are assigned to them. The third group are the requesters and view-only users. These two users are considered free users, meaning that we can have unlimited requesters and view-only users in our account. The requester users have UpKeep logins, and their core function is to create work order requests for locations, assets that need repair or replacement. They have the ability to submit work order requests through the UpKeep web and mobile app. View-only users have the same abilities as requesters, plus they can see all the account details. They have access to work orders, locations, assets, and part data, but they can only view this information and not make any changes. When inviting your team to your UpKeep account, you can manually enter in each user or use our bulk add function. To start inviting users, select the People and Team tab. Select Plus Person and begin entering the email address of the user. This will also be that user's email login. You have the ability to add multiple users at once in this section. Next, select your user account type, and last select Add User. Once submitted, each user will receive an UpKeep email letting them know that they've been invited to your UpKeep account, and they will be prompted to select a password. If a user did not receive their UpKeep invite email for whatever reason, you can resend this by selecting the user name under the People and Team section and hitting Resend Invite Email. To learn more, check out UpKeep's Resource Center for instructions and videos, or reach out to our support team.